Hey guys, this is John.
And Kurt Ratzlaff.
And this is another episode of the Meatgistics podcast brought to you by Walton's. So we have a VSC, very special episode today. We've got our most common guest back. Kurt, we met Kurt through Backcountry Hunters Anglers. What, first time you stopped in the office was 6 years ago now? 5 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
5 or 6 years. It was right before COVID.
Yeah. It was a while before COVID, but yeah, maybe a year.
So you were the chapter president of the Kansas BHA.
Kansas chapter chair. Yeah.
Chapter chair. Okay.
Yep.
And it turned out that you kind of knew Brett.
Yeah.
But you guys like same circles, but.
Well, back up a step further than that too.
Sure.
Like, I grew up in a meat processing plant.
Right.
So we were a customer of Walton's back when it was another name. Midwestern Research.
Yep.
And so, yeah, and it was small enough at that point. I think Brett was running the cash register.
Doing everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting the little tiny horrible store down on whatever, downtown Wichita or whatever. And so, so I've followed the Walton's business around ever since then. And then
we've moved numerous times trying to get rid of you.
Yeah, but. I know. I keep finding you, man. I keep finding you. But and then I started running into Brett and a few conservation things and gun events and that kind of stuff. So I got to know him a little better then. So yeah.
Well, it's been a great partnership.
It has.
Obviously, that's what brought us to national sponsors of BHA and the rest, as they say.
National sponsor of the year. Let's get it right.
If that's true. We do have. I have a plaque.
Yeah.
I have a plaque.
Yeah.
I was trying to unplug a sink and they're like, you have to come up to the stage. I'm like, but I clogged this sink. They're like, leave it. So anyways, listen, let's get to this right away. We've got some food here.
Yes.
I couldn't not feed you.
Thank you.
So on the far side, I have some dry aged salami that has velvet buck red wine and extra black peppercorn in it. That velvet buck red wine was, we got that at BHA.
Yep, they're a sponsor
Rendezvous.
now. I think they're a sponsor. Yep.
He's supposed to be sending us another case because I used the bottle he gave me for that. And also, like, Patrick's a huge labeling guy. I'm usually not. Coolest label.
Really? I haven't seen it yet.
It's black and gold, and all the black is velvet. Like, it looks sweet.
Oh,
it is
nice.
a really, really, and apparently it's going to have a real reasonable price point. And it's pretty tasty wine, too.
Excellent.
Because I didn't use the whole bottle for that. And I sat here and drank that. So
what?
Yeah.
Not on camera, though.
No. I do drink on camera. Monday night live streams.
Oh, okay. All right.
We should get you in for one of those.
Sure.
Do you have any wild game you want to make anything out of?
At the moment, it's all processed, but I am going elk hunting with my daughter in a couple weeks. So
we'll get into this, but we'll get into it.
Anyway.
So that's some salami. We made it in our dry aging cabinet. Then I've got some summer sausage that we just made yesterday, and that is the cranberry something. I can't remember the full name. Cranberry summer sausage.
Dang.
And then close is chocolate chili bratwurst seasoning, dry aged.
And
really?
Sorry if there's not a lot left. I was munching on it the last 20 minutes. So
specifically, it looks like there's not enough of the chocolate chili bratwurst left.
that was probably the least I had. So.
All right, good. All right, so snag a piece and let's get a quick review. This salami,
Oops, I got two.
I'll let you try it first. But this says TSPX.
Oh man.
Yeah, TSPX for the pH drop. Then we let it sit in the cabinet. I think it ended up being close to 2 months because of how big the diameter is. I was struggling to get that moisture out of the middle. And I had to prevent case hardening, which is where the outside hardens too quickly. So I was like having to raise I was doing a ton with these.
Right.
So this I would call a true artisan product.
There you go.
Artisanal. Yes.
Well,
Artisanal. Thank you.
well, it's funny that you said that this is the one with the wine.
Mm-hmm.
I can taste that.
Mm-hmm.
I make a pork sausage at home. Or is it pork? No, I'm not sure. I can't even remember. But I put wine in that, and it's like that gives it a distinctive flavor. I feel like when you put like actual wine into a product like this, like I feel like you can taste that.
Absolutely great. Now I've got a question for you. When you say pork, because pork sausage means something different to us than I think it does to a lot of people. What do you mean when you say pork sausage?
I make fresh sausages at home. And that one, gosh, I'm trying to think. I think it's pork. I haven't made it for a few years, but it's really, really good. It's very popular at holiday time.
Okay.
because it's got like cinnamon and red wine and all kinds of stuff like that, and it has a very holiday feel to it.
Right.
But it's one that I cook it out on the grill.
Okay. So you're eating this for lunch, dinner.
Yeah.
When I say pork sausage, like that's a breakfast sausage.
No.
That's weird.
No. Well, see, and I make that too. That's like my dad. I told you my dad had a meat processing plant. Yep. His big thing was Grandpa Bob's sausage.
Okay.
Which was like kind of just a standard breakfast sausage.
Right.
But it became kind of a thing in our little small town and all that kind of stuff. And so we're now on the third generation, just started, fourth generation maybe. I'm not counting right, of people that have made Grandpa Bob sausage now.
That's
so
cool.
It's become
That's
kind of
cool.
a family deal. Like when one of my grandkids, marks the packages when they make it at their house now and stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. And now I don't even remember what we were talking about. Oh, pork sausage, breakfast and stuff. Yeah, I like to make sausages that you use as like a part of a big meal. I don't mind that at all. I mean, I think that's fun to have like a bratwurst looking thing as the meat of a meal. I think that's perfectly acceptable.
Sure.
And that's what that one is.
Right.
Plus, at my house now for like Christmas and Thanksgiving, the big meal is beers and brats.
There you go.
That's the thing, is like it's beers and brats night for Christmas Eve or Thanksgiving dinner or stuff like that. I mean, we always do the other traditional dinner, but like that's the one that everybody like. Everybody now makes their own sausage and brings their own stuff, and brings beers from wherever they're at and all that kind of stuff too. So it's a lot of fun.
But I'm just saying the name pork sausage, like that has changed in my mind since I started working here. Otherwise it would just be a sausage made out of pork. I don't know why that is.
Hold on.
Like,
do you guys do reindeer sausage on Christmas Eve? Because if so, that would be fantastic.
I was just in Alaska a month ago and had reindeer sausage.
Yeah,
I really did. Just because it was on this, we were stopped at this one place, and I saw that on the menu, and I was like,
we need to try that.
We should
how much weight could we get to that?
Do you remember the outdoor channel on YouTube, The Outdoor Boys?
No.
It was that dad and his two sons. No? Oh, it blew up. It went like, this is the guy, he would go out into the middle of nowhere, Alaska, with his two little kids, and it'd be like -20, and he'd be teaching them how to stay warm. He eventually quit because they got too famous. He's like, I
get
can't
that.
deal
is
with
that guy with the glasses?
Yes.
He just recently quit.
That guy,
Yeah. He'd be a -degree and his son's just in a sleeping bag.
Yeah.
I'm like, get that kid out of there.
There was one night where there were wolves circling
my
their
gosh.
thing, and he's like, I don't want to talk too loud. I don't want to wake my son up and scare him. Like, well, maybe he should be scared,
Yeah.
But no, he quit because he's like, it just got insane. People running up to my little kids saying like, oh, I love you. I watch you all the time. Like, that's not a healthy environment for a child.
No, that would not. I would not want that
very
at
strange.
all.
All right, now try the cranberry one. I want to see what your thoughts are on it.
All right.
And you're not going to hurt anyone's feelings.
All right.
We had somebody give, I thought, a spot-on assessment of this. Now, I'll start it off saying I like this sausage. I like this summer sausage. I don't like cranberries, but it didn't taste like as much cranberry as I guess I initially thought it was going to.
It does impart some sweetness. It could almost use a very rustic cheese. Like it needs something to really counterbalance it.
But I still don't know what cheese that is.
Something sharp.
See, I feel like it's like for me.
Yeah.
Like this is sweet.
Yeah, it is. Sweet.
Yes.
This is like too sweet for me.
Yes.
Like I could eat it, but I do like
sweet.
cranberries, and so I like that part of it. But it's like it's a little sweet for me.
It's got a lot
for my
of
taste.
fruit to it.
Yes, a ton.
So we don't have a high temp cheese that you could use that I think would be good with that.
No, that would
You'd
cut
want
it down.
a slice of cheese and something almost like Parmesan, like dried Parmesan.
Yeah.
Like something like that it needs to cut it. But very holiday themed. Like,
oh, for sure.
That's a great one to have out during a holiday party.
I agree.
And that one is actually kind of reminiscent of it's turkey that I use for that sausage. I'm sorry, that I was talking about with the red wine.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's turkey and dried cherries and red wine and some cinnamon and stuff like that.
No juniper though, right?
No juniper. I know how much that bothers you. It's really good. Stop it.
So just real quick, for anyone who doesn't know, Kurt shot an antelope over a juniper bush field and then decided to make
Close.
well,
Go ahead.
whatever.
Yeah.
He decided to make a some sort of sausage.
Let me give a short,
based
correct
around-
version of
yeah,
this
go
story.
ahead.
Okay.
We might as well.
Yeah, so we were hunting up in Wyoming, and my wife and I were, and sitting in this gorgeous spot, looking down. We were under a juniper tree, looking out over this sage flat, and for whatever reason, a sausage recipe popped into my head at that moment that used sage and juniper.
Right.
And I thought, if I shoot an antelope out here, I'm going to make a sage and juniper sausage. And I did shoot an antelope, and I did make that sausage. And the only people in the world that liked it was my wife and
Yeah.
I.
That's what, sometimes you can't let the intrusive thoughts win.
That's right.
Sometimes you have to go,
I
no,
don't
that's
know.
not a good idea.
It
I'm not
was
doing
good.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
Says
man.
you. Says you. All right. And then the last one we've got here is some dry cured. This is chocolate chili bratwurst, which I almost feel like is a misnomer. They could have done a better job if they had called it like a mole or something, because that's really what the flavor is. There is definitely some chili in there,
There we go.
but I wouldn't really call it a chocolate flavor. It's like,
Mole is a good
yeah,
thought.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's like chocolate adjacent.
Mole.
But yeah, no, I really liked
That's
this
super
one.
good. Man,
yeah,
I'm
I was surprised
reaching
at
back for
how
some more
good
of
this
that.
came out.
No, that is good.
I wanted to do this as almost like a, what is the weirdest dry cured one I can try and make.
But that's super good.
Yeah, it really worked out well.
Super good.
I thought that was good. All right, so a couple of reasons.
That's
we
like
wa-
really good. Wait a minute. That's really good. I like that a lot.
I made it. Of course it is. What are we talking about here? It's ridiculous.
Okay.
Okay. So we've had you on a bunch in the past. Want to have you on for a couple of specific reasons here. We were just talking about the Outdoor Boys and how famous they got on YouTube. But you are now YouTube famous.
I am not.
I don't know if you know this or not.
I don't know.
We've been we cut up the video you did about 5 years ago into clips. It was where you were breaking down the carcass both outside and inside. And we've been releasing those on clips, and they have been doing like ridiculous amounts. I think one of the Facebook ones has like 500,000 views. All of the YouTube shorts are getting like 50 to 100,000 views. People love you.
No, they don't.
It is the Kurt Ratzlaff show.
You guys package things well, apparently. That's all I can come up with. And plus, it hasn't changed my life any. So, like, what's in it for me?
No, there's nothing in it for you. Let's make that clear.
Yeah, I'm still driving 2 cars that have 300,000 and 400,000 miles, so it hasn't really changed my life any.
We just want to see if we can clip up this podcast with you and get way more clips as well.
Yeah, you're the face of knives and deer carcass.
Yeah.
Just,
And
please.
football
Yeah.
roast.
Thank God
Football
I'm the
roast.
face of
Football
that.
roast.
Eventually,
yeah.
people are going to start asking about the football roast because
Yeah.
that one just.
Football roast guy.
Football, I know you.
I know
The
you.
football roast.
There's
guy.
two things that no
Lovely.
matter what whenever we post it, go crazy, and it's the quick patty maker, and it's absolutely insane. There's one with like, is it at 100 million? 100 million views,
Who knows?
right? Something like that. And it's just the quick patty maker with some music over it. And the other one we can always rely on is you talking about the football roast.
That makes no sense at all.
Absolutely love it. I don't know why.
That makes no sense.
Well,
Neither one of those makes sense to
Okay,
me.
here is why it does make a little bit of sense. One, it's quick content, and that's what people want today. Like long form content is starting to taper off. People's attention spans have finally been completely destroyed by TikTok and Instagram Reels and all of that. Two, it is like it has a very interesting visual, and then it also is deer and has the word football in it. That's hitting a lot of things right now, right?
Right, I see that.
So,
yeah, I mean,
It makes sense.
it doesn't make sense to me, but I understand that those 2 words might create some attention.
And the quick patty maker, we're changing the name of all of our grinders and stuffers to Quick Waltons. Walton's Quick Grinder. Walton's Quick Stuffer.
There you go.
Yep. We're 100% doing that.
There you go.
If I had any say in it, which I don't. Thank God. Thank God I do not. But we were going to try and have you on last week, but you had an opportunity to go talk to some lawmakers up in
did.
Kansas. Let's talk about that.
I did. So through BHA, I feel like BHA has like an outsized voice that we have earned.
Sure.
I really think we have done so much work out in the field and stuff that like we have gotten a lot of respect
In Kansas.
For the stuff that we've done. And that has helped us get onto a couple of boards and in groups and stuff like that, where we get to talk directly with like fairly influential people in Kansas, you know, which is really, really cool. And that goes to all of the people, all the volunteers that have done the work out in the field and all that kind of stuff, because that's where it originates from. But yeah, so there's a push to create a state conservation fund, and it's picking up some pretty good steam.
Okay.
This is our now third year to try it in the legislature. We keep having to tweak it and change things to get more and more attention. This could be the year where it passes. We have finally agreed to reduce the amount of money that we're asking for, because we were asking for a lot of money, but there's actually, the need actually vastly exceeds what we were asking for before, but we've cut it back now just to try to get the thing off the ground and get it started.
Right.
And so I had a chance to go and talk with the Secretary of Department of Wildlife and Parks, and some other folks that make some decisions and stuff, and about that, and to give them some feedback on it, get their feedback, and just try to make some more progress on the whole deal. It's a grind on stuff like that, but it could be really cool. I mean, it's stuff like half of the money that would be put in, well, I should back up a step. All of the money that would be put into this fund would be required to not be spent unless there were matching funds from someplace else. So it's immediately going to get at least doubled, and in the real world, it's probably going to be tripled.
And those matching funds would come federal?
From federal, from private, from anywhere.
From anywhere?
Anywhere.
Okay.
Anywhere. There's a lot of companies that do that. That provide matching benefits for conservation projects and stuff like that. Of course, there's a lot of money that comes in through the Farm Bill from the federal agency.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's lots and lots of federal, state. There's some county funds like that, stuff like that. And so any money that would be put in there, I mean, think about that as an investment. Like, what investment do you put your money into and it immediately doubles or triples?
Right.
Like, immediately.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like that kind of deal. But half of it would go to conservation projects on private lands. So think better irrigation practices, or, trying to change over to different fertilizers and stuff like that would benefit everybody.
Right.
So half of it would go to that. A quarter of it would go to like park and recreation kind of issues.
Sure.
And a quarter of it would go to wildlife habitat.
So when you're saying like park stuff, like a new walking path around the pond.
I mean, it could be
like
anything.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, it could be a new walking path, could be better playground equipment at a state park or at a city park or anything like that.
Now, the stuff that would be done on private land, would that have to be stuff that has walk-in access, or?
See, that's where I tried. I tried for that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I tried to get that in there. Nobody will work with me on that very much, because like as a BHA person and public access person, like I have worked, I'm like an advisor to the executive leadership team for that deal. And I've tried really hard to get public access in wherever I can.
Sure.
And I do have it in the current form. Public access is preferred in both the wildlife habitat and the parks and recreation, which kind of goes hand in hand. That one would probably be public anyway. But so right now I've worked some language in where I could, cited the constitutional requirement that hunting and fishing be allowed in Kansas. That's part of the current bill. Yeah. But the on private land side, that is not in there.
Okay.
And I understand that. Obviously, I always want more places for people to go hunting and fishing. Yeah. Always. I'm always going to want more. But I understand the reasoning behind they don't want to do it in all. They don't want to prefer it. It can be part of it or not. But it's not part of the decision process.
Okay, but then why would money from this fund go to their private land?
Thank you.
That doesn't actually, like, and know me, I'm a private land guy.
Yeah, so the benefit of it is to everyone. We have a better place to live, basically, because they're working on improving, like I said, like one that's an easy one to understand is irrigation projects.
Okay.
Where it would not take as much water to grow things, because they do better irrigation practices, or different types of fertilizer. That's another thing, because the blue-green algae situation, the blue-green algae situation is caused in large part from fertilizers, both city and urban and rural. So there's stuff like that. It would improve our lives for everybody in Kansas, just as a practical matter for everyone. It would be kind of those kind of projects that would be that those funds would be utilized for, be things that would help everybody.
I could see it if we were talking about the type of irrigation that's like channels and whatever. But when you say irrigation in Kansas, I go right to farmland and I start thinking about the
circles, irrigation circles and stuff. Yeah, pivot irrigation.
Yeah, sorry, you're a farmer. You're like, improve your own irrigation. Like, don't take public money for that.
Part of, and that's fine. I get that. I understand that. But a huge part and kind of written through all of this fund is an educational component to help farmers understand that there may be something different that they can do on their farm that would work better. So education is a big component of of the whole thing. Just helping everybody understand things better. So it would and the thing that's really frustrating for me, like I do a lot of stuff outdoors, obviously, and all that kind of stuff. But the frustrating thing for me is that, like all of the states around us, like every state that is around Kansas has state conservation funds. But us. And there's like 30, I forget the exact number now, and I'm going to say the wrong numbers, like 35 or 38 or something like that. States in America have these state conservation funds.
Yeah.
That gives them an advantage. And you can say, oh, well, I don't want to pay for your hunting. I get that. Think of tourist dollars. That's where it really becomes a big deal. Think of the amount of money. If we have better hunting, if we have better habitat, there's going to be more hunters coming in, and we're losing out on that at this point. Better state parks. Like I just went on a trip to Montana, stayed in a South Dakota state park. South Dakota state parks are great.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. They are super good.
But hold on.
And so we miss out on some of that because and I'm not bad mouthing our state parks. Some of them are super cool. There's a lot of them that need some work.
Right.
There's just a lot of them that do.
Yeah, you're just not going to get these state parks up to that level because what's already there, right, like the landscape there, is going to be more attractive than a lot of our state parks.
In South Dakota?
Yeah. I mean, they have amazing ponds, like really good fishing up there, all that stuff.
Why can't we improve our habitat here?
We can, but until you start bringing in walleye and muskie and all of that, it's just
it's not
going to grab the same people.
I'll argue that with you.
What would you argue with?
Because let's look at the deer hunting.
Our deer hunting is great.
We have great deer hunting here for
absolutely.
now. Let's hope it stays that way. There's a couple of issues kind of bopping around that we probably ought to pay some attention to so that we keep that.
All right, like what?
Like CWD is one thing that's on a lot of people's minds.
Yeah, it should be.
And there was a problem out in the western part of the state with that. It was a combination of CWD and drought, but the deer numbers went way down.
Yeah.
And we don't want that to happen every place. We got to take care of that, and we got to look at it. We got to take care of those problems. And so it's every place as I travel, as I get older and I travel around a lot and see things, it's like every place has its advantages. Every place has its disadvantages. And so it's just like whatever you got, you better work with and make it the best that you can.
Yep.
And I think Kansas needs to make this investment quickly. The quicker, the better. I used to say that every day that we wait, we lose out on more stuff. People got tired of hearing that, I think, but it's true. But so I don't say that anymore, but I just kind of did. But but it's true. I mean, we need to make this investment. All the other states are making it, and we're not keeping up. We're just not. We're falling behind. And I think it's something that needs to happen sooner rather than later.
Okay.
And I hope it gets through the legislature this year. By the way, there's a huge broad-based coalition behind this. Walton's is part of that coalition, and we appreciate that. But I mean, it's everybody. All the ag groups are behind this, like all of them. Every the wheat group, the corn group, the soybean group, the farm bureau, like all the way down the line, all of them are behind it. All the conservation groups are behind it. Businesses are behind it, because it just makes sense on so many different levels. And it's just something that needs to happen pretty quickly.
And where will this mostly be funded from?
So we have bounced that around. Like I said, this is our third shot at the legislature. The first time we went in, we had done all this research, done polling. Where should money for this come from? And we had this very complicated, process that incorporated all of the results that we had and all this. And legislators looked at that and said, "It's too complicated. What does it mean?"
Right.
And it's like, I don't know. I don't want to take time to learn about this. What? Just tell me. And so they really weren't interested.
Yeah.
So last year we came back in with the other approach, and we said, you figure it out. Make it a state general fund transfer unless you have a better idea, was our approach.
Okay.
And so now it has basically come down to this year we're looking for money to come out of the lottery.
Okay. Well, geez, that got a boom this year with that $1 billion. Everybody's buying tickets.
And in Kansas, I'm still learning about all of this stuff on the lottery end of things. Most states that have a state conservation fund get money from their lottery.
Okay.
Most of them do. We're a little different because the state conservation fund usually existed in the state before they did their lottery.
Yeah. We're
the flip side of that.
Right.
And so we're trying to come back in and change it later.
Yeah.
The lottery in Kansas pays out way more than they are statutorily supposed to. And so we're trying to make a change on that part of it as well, to only allow them to pay out so much money because they're paying out more than they're supposed to. And so there's supposed to be some funding that's not there.
That's a tough sell.
Yeah, I know.
We're going to the lottery and telling them not to give you guys as much money. That's a hard one.
But statutorily, they're paying out way more than they're supposed to be.
Well, that's just a minimum that they have to pay out this much.
It's set. Like I said, I'm not an expert on all this stuff. I'm still learning about it.
Yeah.
But what I know is that there is a minimum that that they have to pay out.
Right. And they're way above that.
And they're way above.
So if you live in Kansas, go buy lotto tickets.
Yeah, buy them now.
Yeah. Before Kurt gets his hands on your money.
But yeah, absolutely. But it'll happen. But it's also funny that there's a lot of lotteries in a lot of states that the money raised from it goes directly to conservation.
Okay.
Which I think would be great. We could do that here. I wouldn't have a problem with that. You want to make a new lottery that funds this thing? Super cool. Let's do it. I don't really care where the money comes from.
Wild game winnings.
Yeah, exactly. So, there you go. There's the name.
Got it.
There you go. So, so that's kind of where it's at right now. We're all ears on whatever funding mechanism is out there. We'll listen to anything, but what we do know is that it needs to be done.
Okay.
And on the money end of it, the first couple of years we asked for $60 million, which is a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
The reason that we asked for that was there was a very clearly definitive need that we could point to. And that was just one.
Right.
That said, there's a shortage of $60 million for funding in conservation in Kansas. And it was very clear. It was black and white. It was on paper, and we could point to it. There is that need that exists right now, and that was just that need, not the rest of the stuff. And so we thought, well, we'll go with that because it was clearly demonstrable. Yeah. And it was still too big a number that people couldn't wrap their head around. And so we've dropped it down to 15, and we'll see where it goes from there.
Was part of the 60 the big ask thing? Ask high, hope for whatever, or was it
no?
It
was conservation projects that farmers and ranchers want to do, but they can't get funded.
Okay.
The farm bill, we were talking. Yeah. We're trying to keep the time on this.
Sure. Yeah. We don't want to dive too deep.
So anyway, the farm bill. But so that was a very clearly black and white need that we could point to and say that exists right there, and went nowhere.
All right. So how did the meeting go that you were just?
It went well.
Have? Did it?
It's a grind.
Yeah.
There's not going to be one breakthrough thing. Ugh. There never is.
Yeah.
Slowly we just keep. Yeah. I mean, I've been going around talking to people. I talked to people up in Tonganoxie here a while back, which is a little town up sort of by Kansas City.
Okay.
And there are 10 people there, and I'm talking about this stuff, and I don't care. I'll talk to anybody anytime because it needs to happen. But I don't really enjoy the legislative stuff at all. That's what I'm doing for BHA now in Kansas.
Right.
Volunteering as the legislative chair because we've got a new chapter chair. Way to go, Marshall, who's doing a good job. And but he's running the chapter stuff, and I'm doing the legislative stuff, and we'll see how long that lasts.
Have just a general BHA question. You might not know this. Before COVID, it seemed like we were having pint nights here every couple of months. Tons of people came, and then COVID hit, and that all just went off a cliff.
Yeah.
Is there do you guys ever see a time getting back to that?
We've tried them. We've tried them, and I think they might be coming back a little bit. But we tried them, and COVID changed the way people thought.
Absolutely.
And so our pint nights were killing it. They were rocking for COVID.
We'd have 40,
so much
50
fun.
people here.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yep.
And we've tried them again, and it's like we don't get the same response. So we want to do what people want to do. So
it's a big part of that, and not me. I'm making up for everybody else who is drinking less and less. Especially the younger generation, they don't drink like we used to.
Yeah.
So
and I've been helping out. I've been helping the liquor industry on that.
Hard.
Yeah.
I actually kind of quit drinking whiskey for a while.
Really?
Because I was just like, what am I doing? And it was no big. I'd come home and I'd have two finger glasses a night. But that just adds up, and it's I'm back at the liquor store again. I'm like, this can't be good. I'm like, I gotta stop this. So yeah, I switched over to just beer, which is not good for my midsection.
That's better.
Yeah, that's better.
I don't know.
Right? Don't you think? It's easier
know.
on my liver, I'd imagine.
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, let's not look too deeply into that.
Yeah.
And I'm drinking Miller Lights, so it's basically water.
Okay, there you go.
It's basically water.
Good, well hydrated.
What were you doing in Montana?
I was chasing, not getting, but I was chasing sharp-tailed grouse.
Oh, okay.
It's a horrible year for sharp-tailed grouse in Montana. And so I had heard nothing but bad reports before I went up there.
Yeah.
And went up there and completely confirmed that.
Okay. There's something else I've heard nothing but bad reports on everything in Montana right now.
Yeah. The only thing I hunt up there is Sharpies and Huns and sage grouse.
So where do you go for your
birds.
elk? I thought you go.
No, I hunt elk in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Wyoming maybe, but yeah, Colorado.
Yeah. So did you even see a sharp-tail?
Yes. We were successful at scratching out one sharp-tailed grouse in 5 days of hunting.
Oh my good Lord.
But the backstory behind that is I've got a 1-year-old pup.
Yeah.
And I charitably like to call him bold.
Okay. He'll just take off.
He believes in himself very strongly. He's going to be really, really good. I don't have any doubt about that.
Right.
But right now he's pretty full of himself. And so he was born at an odd time of year. So he hunted a little bit last January here in Kansas for pheasants, a little bit. He was just out running around. He didn't know what he's doing. And so I was curious to see what he would do this time, because this is his next time out, was in Montana looking for sharp-tailed grouse. And so the first day I pretty much just let him run wild, and he did. There were not very many birds up there, and he found all of them in the county and ran them elsewhere. So
made them go somewhere else.
I mean, he was just a wild man.
Yeah.
But like I said, he's going to be a good dog.
Okay.
He really is. So what's that?
What is he? What breed?
English setter.
English setter. Okay.
Yeah. And he's very fast.
Yeah.
And was really very excited to be out hunting again. And then the second day, I laid the hammer down a little bit on him, and he came right under control pretty well.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he had already run off
everything
everywhere.
Yeah.
It was pretty amazing. It was impressive. But yeah, we did scratch out a bird. He got a point on it. As a 1-year-old, that's pretty good. Pretty happy with that.
Not bad.
So found it, pointed it, got it up. between my wife and I's poor shooting, we barely got it down.
But you got it.
But we got it down.
That's all that matters.
And it then had a little wrestling match with my old dog, and luckily the old dog won. And so we have one sharp-tailed grouse that I put in the freezer last night.
What is your favorite thing to do with sharp-tailed grouse?
Oh, for sure. There's a, and it sounds kind of weird, but there's a soup recipe.
Okay.
It's like based on some Native American stuff that they did. It's like a Three Sisters recipe. Corn, beans, and squash.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And you roast the Sharpie and then take the meat off and then make a broth
Pop
with the
it in there.
bones and all kinds. It's kind of a complicated deal. Takes a little time, but it's absolutely delicious. I mean, it's one of my favorite things to eat. And there's a lot of people that tell you that sharp tails are terrible. Don't eat them, throw them out, all that kind of stuff. That's wrong.
Yeah, no.
That recipe is delicious.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are, it's delicious. I mean, it's not strongly flavored because a lot of people, Sharpies are very biologically close to prairie chickens.
Right.
And prairie chickens, a lot of people say don't taste good. Also wrong. But there's a way to cook just about everything. And Sharpies are delicious in that soup recipe.
I'm getting a prairie chicken this year.
Are you?
It is going to happen. This will be the year. I've got my prairie chicken stamp every year, and I've only seen one, and I didn't know what it was.
Well,
it came over me, and I was like, and someone later was,
is that a hen? Is
so
it a hen
like,
pheasant?
yep,
Hen pheasant?
I thought it was a hen. And I was like, hen? They're like, yeah, that was prairie chicken.
Yeah.
Like, and I felt bad for a second. I was like, oh, and then I remembered, I'm like, oh, I'm not in an area where I could have shot that.
Oh yeah.
Like, so I'm glad I didn't know because I might have panicked.
Yep.
I'm a panicker with bird hunting.
No, I hadn't heard that
That's
at
why
all.
That's why I'm terrible specifically at quail hunting because it's
Yeah.
and I'm like oh.
Yeah.
So yeah. I've never had a hunting accident.
Well, I can tell you, I've not heard any good reports about chicken hunting this year either here in
Yeah.
Kansas. But I'll be going out. You can come along with me if you want to go.
I might take you up on that.
Yeah, you have to be picky on your days,
Sure.
basically. But yeah, if things line up, right, we'll go out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That'd be awesome.
One of the things that because I knew you had gone up to Montana, so I was just looking up hunting reports up there, and the elk hunting has been like particularly bad to where I'm hearing people panic, and the number one thing that and who knows, but people are citing a massive increase in wolf presence, and then I started going down that. Whatever, going down that wormhole.
Yep.
And Montana there's a proposition out right now to double the allotment for wolf kills from last year, from 289 to 500 and whatever it is. In all your time hunting up there, have you had any run-ins with wolves?
No.
Anything like that? No.
Never.
Okay.
Never. Not in Montana. I've never at all. But I hunt in a place where there wouldn't be wolves primarily.
Yeah.
I mean, we heard a million coyotes every night.
Yeah.
Because we're camped out in the middle of no place. And so you hear lots of coyotes every night, but wolves, no. So
Coyotes, it's almost like we have a guy here who is big in coyote hunting. In fact, he and his group just created a logo and they're having hats printed up.
nice.
Bought this ridiculous thermal night scope. You know who it is, obviously.
Well, I knew where that was going.
Yeah.
Because that's a big topic in Kansas right now. So,
Is what?
sure. The thermal hunting of coyotes.
You got to do something because their numbers are exploding.
You know, it's interesting because so on game laws like that, like how many should they take? You know, like with the wolf situation, all that kind of stuff. There's a game commission that decides the numbers that should be taken,
Right.
and that kind of stuff. And they're supposed to be those decisions are supposed to be based on science, like from the field biologists and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so night vision and thermal hunting for coyotes was not allowed in Kansas. And I'm not sure where it stands at this moment. So everybody make your own decisions. But it then was brought up as a topic to the Kansas Commission, and it was a big, like, hotly contested deal. Hunters on both sides of that issue.
Right.
It wasn't that everybody was in favor of it. Excuse me. There were folks on both sides, and both sides had very good reasons. Like deer bow hunters were concerned because now you got people out there shooting rifles when they're walking in and out of their tree stands. And so there was timing issues, like when should we start it, all that kind of. So there was a bunch of different issues.
Okay, but
right now, and part of where I was going with all of that is part of the biological information that was given. There was some biological information given that, like, basically, like, coyotes are immune to hunting pressure.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't matter when you hunt them, how you hunt them, what you do. Their numbers are relatively going to stay the same.
They might actually be.
They might increase.
Yeah. Under more pressure.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Which is crazy.
Until you start taking in other factors. And this is what drives me nuts about the science community is sometimes they can't see the trees through the forest. They get so obsessed with because I'm assuming what you're talking about is they do their roll call, and if they realize they've lost a certain number of the pack, the females will go into estrus quicker, and they'll have larger breeds, right? Or larger broods. Right. So those two things make sense. It also makes sense that the more coyotes I kill, the less coyotes there are going to be. And that is just a way it is, right? Like, it is.
Yeah.
I get the whole, like, thought process behind that, but it doesn't make sense just because you have this one thing. That definitely is going to be a factor, right? Definitely is. But let's also just use some common sense.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, there's so much information on all that stuff out there, and it all gets thrown out at the commission. And then the commission's supposed to make sense of all of it. They have a horrible job. I would never want that job. But it is interesting to hear all of the different sides, all the different information, all that stuff. And then to try to apply a little common sense in there as well. I was sitting there, and as I was listening to all of it, like, I kept thinking, like, so, like, when the Big Bang, we have nuclear holocaust and all that kind of stuff, the world ends.
Now you're talking my language. When do you think that's going to happen?
When that happens, I've always just thought, there's going to be cockroaches left. Cockroaches will still be alive, and now apparently I have to add coyotes to that list. Like, coyotes and cockroaches are always going to be around no matter what.
And John Tremblay. Like, I will make it.
I'd argue that one.
No, I'll make it somehow. Don't you worry. I'll crawl down in some rubble and come up a year later. I'll be fine.
Oh, man. But yeah, that was the thought that I had listening to all of that.
Yeah.
Was like, I got to add coyotes to that list now. It's going to be coyotes and cockroaches that are left.
That's fair. So this year has been, like, in my mind, I don't have any actual data to back this up. This has been the wettest year in Kansas since I've been here.
Yes.
And I've seen a bunch of stuff coming that says that this is going to be a very divided winter for America. There's going to be a very clear line, and above it, it's going to be a freezing cold winter, and below it, it's going to be a very warm and very wet winter. So with that in mind, we're getting up to a bunch of deer hunting seasons in Kansas. What's your go-to wet weather gear? Like, what do you have?
I hate hunting in wet weather. I'll just tell you straight up.
Well,
I hate it. I do.
When's the last time you got out deer hunting?
When it was wet?
Just in general.
Last time I was out deer hunting was last December.
Okay, so you were out this previous year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're
sure.
an every year deer hunter.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. I usually put 2 or 3 in my freezer every year.
Nice. Okay. All right. So I missed last year, but since I've started, I've done it every year but last year. And I just had a bunch of personal things going on. I couldn't make it work. But I just bought. Anyways, go ahead. I want to see if what I bought was
okay. Well, and I hate wet weather. Stuff. I mean, I honestly do. I hate it. If I'm out like backpack hunting or something like that and it rains, then you got to deal with it. Okay, fine, you got to deal with it. Other than that, like, I try to avoid it. Like, I'm old and retired now, and if it's like raining, a lot of times I'll go, you know what? I'll go after it stops raining.
But that's so backwards, Kurt.
No.
You're okay if you're going to be out there for days and days, but if it's a simple day hunt or a walk to it, do you tree stand? I don't tree stand. Hunt. Okay. If it's a simple walk to an area, you won't do that. But you'll do the backcountry hunt where you're going to get poured on.
What's the different deal? It's a whole different deal.
One is just that you're getting ready for more misery, and the other one is, hey,
Yeah, if it's a day after day after day misery, I'm all in.
But you don't like that single day.
But like that single 3-hour time or 4-hour time of sitting in it. No, I'm not.
There's a term for people like you. They're called masochists.
Probably.
But I will say
or
this.
backpack hunters. I'll go with either one of those.
It's probably one of the same. There is something I love about shared misery.
Yeah.
Like if a bunch of people are in a sucky situation together, I just start laughing. I'm like, this is
It's
terrible,
awful.
but great.
Yeah.
So-
If you're doing it, if you're out there and you're just suffering and you're like all by yourself,
Yeah.
it's like nobody cares.
Right.
Nobody cares to hear about it. And so it's just like, which is fine with me. I mean, I don't need to tell a lot of people about what I do, but if it's like a challenge, I'm all in.
Bad solo hunting stories are like bad fantasy football beats. Nobody cares to hear your story.
No one
It's like,
cares.
hey, listen, don't tell me. I don't care.
Yeah. It's like, I got
Doesn't
my own
affect
problems.
me anyway. All right. So, but what is your wet weather gear?
Like my wet weather gear is I've got like some Sitka rain gear.
Yep.
That's really, really good.
Do you know what kind you got? Like what
I got it years ago.
Okay.
I got it years ago. I don't know what it is. I probably got it in 2020.
Okay. I don't know when
something.
this started, but I just got some Sitka
It's good stuff.
Dew Point
Uh-huh.
is the jacket and the pants. And I
Yep.
bought them a size smaller than what I could currently fit into.
Yes.
Because I'm like,
I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna do this because I'm gonna fit into this expense. Because Sitka stuff is really, really good. I've got their whatever jacket it is. I won at one of these things. I won a full, so I bought the most expensive jacket and most expensive pants I could find.
Sure.
They don't match, by the way, but yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But that jacket,
It's raining. Nothing can see
in
you
the
anyway.
middle of winter here in Kansas, where it might be like 0 degrees, I can put a t-shirt on, that jacket, and be outside for 4 hours with literally no problem. That thing
Correct.
it's otherworldly. So
It
I
is.
figured their wet weather gear would be the same.
Yeah, it's super, super good. So I've got some of that stuff. If I'm hiking, if I'm just going out and I'm out in the mountains and I'm hiking and I think, oh man, it's going to rain today.
Yeah.
I don't take that stuff. It's too bulky.
Yeah.
And so I've got rain gear and I don't get along real well.
Yeah.
I've got some Marmot.
Yep.
I think it's like Precipice or something like that, maybe rain gear. I can't remember. Got some of that. Just went to Alaska this summer, and I bought some Helly Hansen stuff.
Yeah.
But just like the rubber rain suit kind of stuff. It's not breathable. It's not nothing. It just keeps you dry.
Right.
You know. And I will say I'm migrating more and more that way. Like the rain gear, they can talk about breathability and all that kind of stuff all they want. It's not.
Nope.
If you walk around any at all in that stuff, you're going to get more water in it from your sweat than you keep out from the rain.
True.
And
That's probably true.
And so I'm like more and more, I think I'm migrating just to like the old school, like I said, like the Helly Hansen, like rubber rain suit kind
What's
of thing.
hilarious is years and years ago when I didn't know, Sitka from whatever, Helly Hansen I knew from skiing.
Yeah.
So they make amazing skiing jackets and pants. Or they made. I don't know if they still do it.
Yeah, like a lot of sailors wear that stuff too. People out on the ocean.
Just keep you bone dry.
Absolutely.
What were you doing in Alaska?
Went on a trip. My wife and I went on a trip with another couple.
Okay.
Went up there. It was kind of a sightseeing trip for this other couple.
Okay.
We were kind of tag-alongs on the whole deal, so I didn't get to plan a lot of it.
Yeah.
But it was a great trip. Loved Alaska.
No
It was
hunting?
Great. 1 day of fishing.
Okay.
Which was great.
What'd
Had
you go
a
after?
great time. We were deep sea fishing.
Oh.
And had a great time. We're out in the Gulf of Alaska out there. Got into some silver coho salmon. Caught a bunch of those, or 3 of those. Shouldn't say a bunch because the limit is 3. So caught our limit of those, and then went out halibut fishing. I had a lot of fun doing that. There was 6 people fishing on the boat. There were 5 rod holders that were set up. It was mainly set up as a salmon boat, but 5 of the 6 places could also handle halibut.
Right.
There was one spot that couldn't, and so the guide looked around and he goes, "Okay, you you get to be the one that freehands it.
Oh yeah.
And so I did.
And for people who don't know, halibut not only can get very big, but they suck to the bottom, and it can be difficult to get them up off.
Yeah, it was interesting. I have not, I fish a lot, but I fish for like trout in the mountains and, bass and stuff like that. This is a whole different deal. And literally like I ended up catching a 58-pound halibut, that was like 300 feet down.
Nice.
And that was a battle.
Yeah.
I got to say, I mean, I had been sick right before we left. And so I was not great physical shape at that moment, but that was a battle because I mean, you're freehand it, so it's like you stick the butt of the rod in your stomach, and like literally like you're like lifting as hard as you can to try to get like 5 feet up, and then you reel down. And it's like, and you do that for 300 feet, and you're doing it like 4 or 5 feet at a time, and I was pretty shot. But
I can imagine.
I was pretty shot, and I know 58 is not a huge halibut and all that kind of stuff, but that's a big fish.
Yeah.
That's a big fish.
50-pound fish is not insignificant.
Yeah, and they're fighting against you. It's not just like you're lifting 50 pounds.
And I assume you took it.
Yeah.
Okay. What was it like getting everything back?
We did the easy way because I did not trust and I was right. I did not trust the airline connections that we had coming back, because you can freeze it and box it yourself up there and then bring it back as luggage on the airline.
Yeah.
I did not trust our connections.
Smart.
And so I had a company up there do the whole thing, and then just ship it to me after I got back home.
Perfect.
And so it showed up on my front door.
Have you had any of the halibut yet?
It is wonderful.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I love halibut.
That's the mildest tasting fish I've ever had in my life. Like I was sitting there and I was sitting there and we grilled it, put some stuff on it, not much, just because I wanted to see what it tasted like.
Yeah.
And so like I ate it and I'm like, I am aware that I'm eating meat.
Yep.
This is not fish. It didn't taste like fish.
Nope.
I was like, it's not pork. It's not chicken. It's just like a meat.
Wonderful texture too.
Oh yeah. It's awesome.
Absolutely great texture.
Awesome.
My favorite thing to do with halibut is I take Kalamata olives, tomatoes, capers, onions, garlic, and I saute the onions and the garlic first, put it on there, drizzle it with some olive oil, just cover it in that and put it in the oven and just bake it. And every time, texture's perfect, taste is perfect, and just,
yeah,
absolutely. In fact, now I want to go make that.
Yeah, the guide had some like, oh, this is my favorite thing to do with it, and it was like, he was telling me, and I was like, well, why don't you just like get some cardboard and put all that stuff on there, because it's whatever, I don't even remember what it was. It's like cover it with mayonnaise and then crush some barbecue chips and I mean it's just like all this stuff, and I was like, I don't think I'm not gonna be doing that.
Have we talked since Allie and I got back from Canada on our fishing trip? All right.
No.
So the whole time, real quick, and I'll finish this quickly because we're already at our hour.
What?
So we get there, and it's first time Allie's been, and it's the first time a girl has been in a long time. And Scott, who's the owner of Ranchera, who is the one who puts it on, brings his daughter as well. They're the same age, and the two of them just go, Foop, and they're just like the entire time they're. So the first day, I was supposed to go out with Travis, this one guy, and we got them in the boat too. And at one point, we're doing this long drive, and I just look over at him. I'm like, oh, because it was just. I'm like, this is usually quiet, but whatever. Travis turned on some country music, and we like had a blast on the way over. So we're fishing and just catching tons of walleye, good walleye. And Allie's not catching much, but she's still having fun. And she brings up like 4 times. She's like, I don't want to catch a lot of fish. She's like, I want to catch one big fish. She's like, that's what I want. So we're sitting there, we're fishing. We move around to this other spot, and I'm on the back of the boat. She's on the side. She's like, oh, I got something. And I look over, and it's okay. And she's like, oh, I think it's big. And I hear zzz. I look over and her rod's bent like over. I was like, oh, she's got something. So she's fighting it for like 2 or 3 minutes before it finally, we can see it, right? And it's a huge pike, like a big fatty. So she stays perfectly calm. I come over to that side of the boat. It comes to the back, freaks out. Tail splashes so hard that I get soaked up on the boat. our guide, who has his own TV show, so very experienced, goes to net it. The thing breaks through the net.
Oh, jeez.
And my heart sunk, because in my mind, like, she just lost that fish, but she stayed perfectly calm, just kept reeling. Guy did an amazing job keeping the line in between the net so it didn't rub against the sides. Got it back through the net, so now it's free. And then he double nets it the second time and gets it in the boat. It's a 38-inch muskie, like gorgeous muskie, this fat, like really just huge. And then, so she and I had a bet on who would catch the largest fish. And luckily I went out that night and caught a 38-inch muskie. So small muskie, but still got me tied up. And she wanted to do some muskie fishing. So we pull up on this one spot. It's kind of the middle of the day, like maybe it's 2:00. And Travis is just trying to teach her how to cast the pole and whatever. And she's doing that. And we're just fishing, like, we know nothing's going to happen. Well, a muskie came up and tried to take her lure, and she did what you're supposed to. She tried to set the lure, but it just missed.
Yep.
And so she's like, should I throw it right back out? And we're like, that fish isn't going to eat again today. Like, you could try. She was so excited. We were like, I looked at Travis, he looked at me, he's like, are you going to tell her? Am I going to tell her? I'm like, I don't want to break her heart right now. Her adrenaline's sky high. But yeah, no, it was an amazing trip as always. I love stuff like that.
Yep, that's awesome.
You said you were going to go do some elk hunting here soon?
Yeah. My daughter and I are going elk hunting.
Where?
In Colorado.
Okay.
She's got a cow tag. I got a bull tag for the same unit, so we're going to kind of hunt together and see what we can come up with.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty fun.
That would be pretty fun. Make sure your freezer's in good shape.
Yeah, I got. I need to. I cut up a buffalo here a while back, a bison.
Oh my! Allie's gonna kill me.
And so, but
all right, we're going past an hour. This is 100% what we were supposed to talk about.
Oh man!
All right, so tell us about the buffalo.
Okay, so it was kind of a last second deal. Two good friends of mine were gonna buy a bison.
Okay.
The state of Kansas auctions some off every year.
Right.
And they were wanting to get one to cut it up. But then a couple of weeks ahead of that, they were like, oh, we should get somebody that like can help us cut it up.
Yeah.
And so they were a little, and both of them have cut up deer, but they just got a little nervous because they hadn't done it before.
Yeah.
And so they called me up and said, hey, this is what we're doing. Wondered if you'd be interested in helping us out. And it's funny because my wife and I had talked a lot about how I've never cut up a bison. I've cut up everything else in America just about, but I've never cut up a bison. Just one of those things that hadn't happened.
Right.
And so I was like, and I talked to my wife a couple of years ago about like, I really want to cut one up because I've never done it. And so we had looked into buying one a couple of times, didn't do it. And then this deal just like falls into my lap. And I was like, hell yes, I'm
please.
in.
Yep.
Yes, I'm in.
On that.
And so, and it was funny. I couldn't be there. I had another one of the Topeka legislative things that day of the auction. So Lauren, one of the other gals, and my wife went to the auction and ended up buying a beautiful 2-year-old bull.
Okay.
And I mean, after we got it cut up and everything, I was amazed because there wasn't a mark on that thing. I mean, it was gorgeous as far as like the meat aspect of it and the hide, everything of it was perfect.
Okay, but let's go back to the actually doing it.
Okay,
I
so
want to hear the story.
it was pretty interesting. I think because we had two ladies that were involved in the whole process, because there was 3 couples basically that did this, but it was 2 gals and me were the ones that were kind of heading it up a little bit, and I think they enjoyed the fact that there was 2 gals that were doing it. And so they helped us out a little bit, which was super cool. But yeah, they put it down for us right there.
So they did put it down.
They did.
Gotcha.
They don't do that for everybody.
Yeah,
like I said, I think they got into the fact that it was a couple of ladies, that were involved with this. And so they put it down, and then they had a front end loader that they had put extensions on so that they could lift it to get it high enough.
Yeah.
And so we just started skinning it that way. I thought I was showing up to do it like an elk, like when you've got it out in the mountains, and just like, okay, somebody hold up this leg and we'll, and that whole deal. But that made it a lot easier. And there was one of the gal's husband really wanted to hide off of it. They wanted to hide really bad. And so we were skinning it. And I had called my brother's actually, he stayed and worked with my dad in the meat processing plant. He's done a lot of bison. And so I called him a couple of nights ahead of time. I'm like, all right, give me, what's like two bullet points,
right, yeah.
2 bullet points that I can do with this. And he's like, 1, bring a lot of knives, and 2, have somebody there whose only job all day long is to sharpen knives. And I was like, what are you talking about? And it's true. Yeah, it's true. My wife was put into the job of knife sharpener, and she was busy all day long. And I think all of us brought, I don't know, 4 or 5 knives each. This, like, skinning it was way, I want to say, drier than anything I've ever skinned before. I don't know what it was. It was a very dry process.
Okay.
Usually there's moisture in there, you know, and it's all like very moist, and it's nice. This was a very dry experience.
Okay.
And it dulled your knives really quickly. And so, yeah, there was 2 or 3 of us at a time would be working on skinning it, and it was just like a constant process sharpening knives.
Now, did you have skinning knives, or like were you just using boning knives and stuff?
So I think somebody had a skinning knife.
Okay.
I just had my
your regular
Forstner,
sure,
yeah,
yep.
Normal boning knives or whatever. I brought a skinning knife. I looked at it a little bit and decided not to do that and just go with a regular boning knife. So that's what I did. But I had my skinning knife there.
Okay.
To take with me all the time.
How long did it take to the skinning?
Just to skin it,
just the skinning.
Just to skin it took a while.
Okay.
Because the guy that wanted the hide, also caped it.
Oh.
Like the whole head, the whole face, and everything. And he was very meticulous about that, and so that took a while. I want to say just the skinning was probably a couple of hours. He was very meticulous about it, did a fantastic job.
Right.
And I got to say, one of the coolest things of that whole process was like rolling that hide up. I don't know what it was. I have no idea what it was about that, but like taking that hide, laying it out, which was enormous and incredibly heavy.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's heavy.
Yep.
Like, it's heavy. And I don't know what it was about that, but it's like folding that thing up and rolling it up. It was like a spiritual kind of experience. It really was. I cannot explain it. I don't know what it was about it, but it was like a very cool moment.
Well,
like, for me personally.
Sure.
Like it was just super cool.
You were out in the field in Kansas, right?
Mm-hmm. With friends.
Buffalo.
A gathering of people that would,
It's that's what it used to be in the old. So that makes sense. What about processing it? How long did that take?
We did it all that day.
Okay. Literally all day?
Literally all day.
Okay.
We quartered it. One of the gals luckily had a brand new stock trailer that wasn't used.
Yeah.
And so we put down like brand new tarps in the bottom of that, and then a layer of ice, and then we'd lay a couple of quarters down, and then we'd put more ice on top of that, and then just kind of kept doing that just to keep it cold, just so we could get it home to cut it up.
How much meat did you get out of it?
We didn't really measure it.
Oh, wow.
All that. It was like
there's not really a way to do it, I guess.
That was there was. We took all of the quartered pieces and all that kind of stuff to one of the couple's house. They had space where we could store it while we're cutting it up. And so we were there until like 11 o'clock that night, and we started first thing in the morning, and we were there. It was a long, long day. Because we were hustling, and we didn't get the grinding done, but we got all of the cutting, all of the boning, all of the everything ready to go, and everything but the ground meat packaged, and got all that done by 11 o'clock at night. And so then it was like an hour drive back home after we got there, after we had to clean up, and then drive an hour home and all that kind of stuff. It was a long day. It was a hard day. It was really hard. And then I got up the next morning and knocked out the grinding right quick and did that. And it's been great. There's one thing I wish we could have done. I wish we could have hung it, because it was a little bit tough.
Yeah.
I wish we could have hung it.
Right.
Just give me a week in a cooler, and that thing would have been awesome. So that's the one thing is like, if I'm ever going to do it again, it's
That's
like,
what you would want to do.
yeah, I'd want to figure out a way to, and I don't have a walk-in cooler at my house, you know.
Certainly
Some
not
guys-
one that's going to fit that.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like, yeah, when I go shoot a deer or two, I can stick those in the fridge.
Sure.
And no problem. But, you know, a bison is a different deal.
That is a much different deal.
Yeah.
those
And
things are
it was
huge.
fantastic. We had a great time. It was a great time with great friends, and it was a wonderful opportunity. I'm glad I did it. It gave us great meat for a long time. We have eaten everything. We've got like maybe 5 or 6 2-pound packages of ground meat left.
You've eaten everything else.
We've eaten all of
Wow.
it. It was fantastic.
What do you like? Compare it to something.
Miss Bison. It's kind of its own thing. This one, I will say, was not farm raised.
Okay. So
Okay,
this is a wild
there
animal.
there was no fat
Yeah.
on this thing. There was none.
Right.
And it was from a refuge where they eat grass. You know, they're not eating hay and
Right.
oats and whatever that they would be fed on a, and they get like exercise. They run around because they're in a large space. And so this was a wild animal, basically. So it was super lean, super lean.
Yeah.
There was no fat anywhere on this guy, and he was in great shape. I had all this smoking stuff that I wanted to try and all that kind of stuff. I didn't like that as much as I thought I was going to.
Right.
Because I couldn't figure out how to keep it
Moist and
moist
all.
and
Yeah.
all.
If you
And
have
I
no
tried,
fat,
I
yeah.
tried this and I tried that, and I finally just went, you know what?
Not gonna
No,
work.
that's not going to work
Right.
with this guy.
Nope.
But yeah, it was great. I would do it again, given the right circumstances.
Well, if you do decide to do it again, definitely talk to us first because there's some interest.
I don't know why anybody would want to watch me do it. I'm a novice at best.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it
different.
doesn't matter.
A bison is different,
It's
man.
still way
everything is
more fun to do.
backwards.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, it's not.
It's something different. Oh, yeah, it's not fine to figure out. But
Yeah.
It's still, okay. Last question. You said they put it down for you. What they use to put it down?
30-6.
Yeah, I imagine it's got to be a larger.
Well, I mean, it was like
Yeah, right there.
headshot. So
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yep.
I mean, yeah, it was over instantly. They bled it out for us. And all
Who
that good
took
stuff.
the skull?
I got that.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yes. Awesome.
I wasn't going to because
Yeah.
it's like
Oh,
there
come
was
on.
no. I
Yeah.
really had no interest in it. I really didn't. Going there that day, I was like, I just want the meat. That's all I really want. I want the experience of cutting this up. I want the meat to play with a little bit, and then I'm going to be good.
Yeah.
And we got there, and the one guy was all excited about getting the hide, and the other couple wanted all of the bones because they raise large dogs. They're a dog breeder, and they wanted a lot of bones to give to their dogs to let them chew on them. And so that's what they really wanted. They were very excited to get all of that. And I was like, I just want the meat. And then I saw like that head,
Yeah.
and I was like, that's
I guess I do
pretty
want that.
awesome.
Yep.
I think I'm going to get a Euro done of that.
Yeah,
maybe.
that's.
And so,
I mean, they're awesome.
and so yeah, it really is.
They're
It's
cool
and so
looking.
yeah, and I took it to a guy that does the Euro stuff with bugs, like the beetles.
Yep.
That's I
It's
like
pretty
that.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
like
pretty
that
cool
a
how
lot.
they do that.
So yeah, that guy, I still have to figure out where to
Where to put it?
My Euro buffalo head
Yeah.
is still on my dining room table.
Yeah, 'cause-
It's like a centerpies of the dining
That's
room
all.
table now.
So that's where it goes.
Instead of hanging on the
no,
wall.
no, no.
someplace.
That's way better. That's cooler.
But the grandkids get a big kick out of it and all that kind of stuff, and so it's kind of fun.
What are we
But,
talking like this?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're huge.
it's big. They're a big animal, man.
They are huge.
They are a big animal. And
All right. Well, we are way over our hour already.
surprise,
So,
we always are.
We're doing.
And we didn't even drink. I'm proud of us.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed, but
And like I said earlier, like I think it's probably my fault that we don't do that
no,
anymore.
one of those. It's definitely not. Definitely not your fault.
I think it was.
One of these.
Look at
when
the
you get an
philosophy
elk or
episode.
something, get an elk. Figure out something you want to make. Come in on a Monday night, and we'll do a live stream. And we'll drink everything we want.
Okay.
And we'll make stuff.
Okay. We gotta bring an elk or deer or something.
Something.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Sounds awesome.
Thanks, Kurt. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Thanks for checking out the Meatgistics podcast. To shop everything but the meat, head on over to waltons.com. To get your meat processing questions answered by experts and enthusiasts alike, head on over to our online community at meatgistics.com. Waltons, everything but the meat.